For more on this, Lotje de Vries joins us now from the Netherlands. Thanks for joining us here on TRT World. Now, this seems pretty remarkable. A peace deal reached between the government and 14 armed groups. Tell us more about it.
Yes, well, the government was elected 3 years ago in 2016 when general elections took place. But the year before, prior to that, there had been actually fighting between different sides, often considered like Muslim groups on one hand and then Christian groups on the other hand, fighting each other. That's actually a very big oversimplification of the situation in the country, but several of those groups have then further splintered, and now there were 14 groups still remaining in the country, and they all had different parts of the territory under their control, about 70%. So the government basically only is in charge of the land in most of the towns, together with the UN peacekeeping mission. So the government actually had an interest in making a deal with these groups in order to extend its control over the territory. So hence these peace talks that now took place in Khartoum under the auspice of the African Union.
Mm-hmm. And I understand this is the seventh deal since 2012. How confident are you that it will last?
Yeah, of course, that is the big question to everyone now. The deal was signed, or at least it's not been signed yet, but yesterday the news broke. There has been a deal that people agree on the most contentious issues, but we don't actually know the details of that deal yet. So the plan is to finalize it today and then to sign it over the next few days in Bangui. So we still have to know the exact details. But of course, the biggest bone of contention was what will happen with the amnesty of the rebel leaders. The government of the Central African Republic was not much in favor of granting them amnesty, but leaders of those armed groups actually did not want to sign any deal without such amnesty agreed upon. So that's, I think, one of the biggest issues. And then, of course, one can also wonder how the agreement is going to be enforced, what the role of these different armed actors will be. Will they be demobilized? Will they hand in their arms? How the UN peacekeeping mission will actually enforce the agreement in real effect. So yes, people are very skeptical. And it very much remains to be seen what will come out of it.
Indeed. And tell us, Dr. Lotje, this is a country that we don't hear much about, the Central African Republic. Tell us, why has there been so much conflict here?
Well, it's a very empty country, I would say. It's scarcely populated and there's a lot of resources present. So you have a few towns, and then in between, you have a vast land in which you can find different varieties of resources, mainly gold, but also other valuable minerals. So, and since the government has a very small army that's hardly operational, armed groups can actually quite easily take control over certain parts of that territory. The government also has a hard time offering any type of social services to people. So people are very much left to their own devices in organizing security, in organizing their livelihoods. Well, I think that is somehow the general history of the country, and not much has changed in that regard over the past 40, 50 years. But since more or less 20 years, there has been kind of consistent turmoil in various parts of the country, and no one has really ever managed to control that particular turmoil. And then in 2012, a group of Seleka combatants, as they were called, which was actually an alliance between different rebel groups over the territory, they marched onto Bangui, and then they took power. Well, that was not much of a success, but that was the start of this latest wave of conflict.
Thank you so much for that and the rest of your analysis. Dr. Lotje de Vries there from the Netherlands, thank you.